Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got the third sneak peek for this upcoming Cosmic May update, and it continues to deliver exactly what we were hoping to see. So let's check it out. This is CM Fragment. More heroes have appeared to stand against the space war. Members of a prominent space corps are here to lend their strength. Protectors of the universe, join the fight. And we see Richard Rider Nova and Phyla-Vell here in this photo. And the interesting thing here, it's great to have these heroes with these vast knowledge of space on our side. We should search for more heroes to help us in the future. The interesting thing here is if you zoom in this photo, sneak peek, you will see Cosmic Ghost Rider right there. Okay, you see the chains and stuff, and this again, it makes this is part 3. This is the third piece out of a 4-piece mosaic puzzle. So we see Cosmic Ghost Rider here. So it's really, really cool. But if you go on to Twitter, he's gone. So for whatever reason, when you zoom in, you see that he's not there. So I'm not sure exactly why. We got these little icons here. I'm not sure exactly why they decided to do this, but the Twitter post does not include Cosmic Ghost Rider. So there may be some sort of interesting thing at play going on here with Cosmic Ghost Rider. And then it says here on Twitter, the Nova Corps and Guardians of the Galaxy team up to protect the cosmos in the upcoming update. Which heroes are you looking forward to fighting alongside with? Now, in addition to Cosmic Ghost Rider and then the obvious ones in front of us, Richard Rider Nova and Phyla-Vell, you can see that there's a gun here. And it's a very familiar gun that you hold the handle in the middle here. And then there's one, one weapon here, and we're one barrel there and one barrel there. And it sort of has like a pincer shape. If we go over to our good boy Star-Lord, you will see that it's exactly what his weapon is shaped like. And I think you have to swap to one of his other uniforms. Does he take out the gun? There we go. So there we go. That gun right there is very reminiscent of the shape of the gun that you see in the teaser. So that's pretty much a dead giveaway. That right there in the corner is pretty much a dead giveaway for Star-Lord's gun. So that means that the 4th sneak peek is going to feature Star-Lord in some way. And if you take a look at a like full mosaic, and there's a bunch of them floating around here, so credit goes to everybody that created one of these. You can see now that you got 1, 2, and 3. You've got you got the chains and Stormbreaker in the first one. And the second one, you've got Gladiator and who's his name, Darkhawk. And you've got Beta Ray Bill in the corner. And then now we see Rider and Phyla-Vell with Cosmic Ghost Rider sort of in a shrunk down, zoomed out, far away version a la Beta Ray Bill. And then we have to just speculate who is going to be next to Star-Lord. It's possible that Star-Lord's by himself in the 4th sneak peek. It's possible that we're going to get sort of a young adult punk rock version of Groot. It's possible that it's going to be Star-Lord and Moondragon. There's lots of different possibilities, but we don't know what's going to be in sneak peek 4. Keep in mind there are 5 sneak peeks, and the 5th sneak peek is the one that's going to tell us the tier 3. So I'm very much hoping that it's not Star-Lord. It's possible that it's Silver Surfer. It is possible that it's Beta Ray Bill. It's possible that it's Cosmic Ghost Rider, because we haven't seen any of those characters prominently featured. We've seen Cosmic Ghost Rider and Beta Ray Bill zoomed out, but that's not the same. We haven't seen their character models up close. One other thing I want to mention really quickly for those of you that don't think Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to be the tier 3, is if you go over to Donny Cates' Twitter, he keeps posting. He keeps retweeting. He keeps retweeting the updates, and he keeps mentioning the red chains. I just can't help but notice all these red chains. And maybe Donnie's a kinky guy, who knows? But I think there's a small chance, shout out to Kevin Smith, I think there's a small chance that Cosmic Ghost Rider is not only a brand new character, not a uniform for Punisher, not a uniform for Ghost Rider, but a brand new character. And then it's possible that it's also a tier 3. Now, if Cosmic Ghost Rider is a tier 3 and it's not a new character, then it means that Punisher would also get his tier 3. I don't really mind that happening because it would be a cool sort of double take. You would use the only annoying thing, the only bummer would be that you would use combat books to tier 3 him instead of using universal books. So we still wouldn't technically be getting a universal tier 3. We could have multiple tier 3s as well, but something in the back of my mind sort of is speaking to me that it's going to be Cosmic Ghost Rider as the tier 3, but it definitely could be anyone else. But this is a heavy universal update. Like, I expect Darkhawk, Richard Rider, Phyla-Vell, Gladiator, Beta Ray Bill, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. I expect all of those characters, whether they're characters or uniforms, they all have to be universal. So this is shaping up to be probably the 5-year anniversary update that we wanted but didn't get. And so it's kind of interesting. They were, Marvel Future Fight had to make that Black Widow update for the anniversary, but maybe this is the update they really wanted to release, and maybe this is the one that's really going to turn the game around. Who knows? Maybe I'm being too optimistic at this point. Now, let's quickly talk, not as quickly, but let's talk about Richard Rider, Nova, and Phyla-Vell, because I think a lot of people are really hyped for these characters, but some people don't know who they are, especially Phyla-Vell. Now, in Nova's case, Richard Rider, if you play Marvel Future Fight, even if you don't watch the comics, read the comics, watch the TV shows, stuff like that, Richard Rider is basically this Nova except bigger, and it's basically the same thing. He was a human, and then he was given the Nova Corps powers from Xandar by one of the other Nova Corps members. So that's basically all it is. Richard Rider was just a high school student, and then he was imbued with the powers of the Nova Force. And then he puts the helmet on, blah blah blah, and he becomes this like super powered being. And it's basically the same thing, super strength, super endurance, super stamina, super speed, they move at super speed, energy absorption and energy manipulation, energy blasts, that kind of stuff. What really makes Nova powerful, like the Nova that we have here, is his second skill, Rocket Blast. Literally all of his power is housed in one skill. It's like Captain Marvel on steroids. It's basically one of the most annoying skills in the game next to Jean Grey's 5th skill. And the reason for that is, let's take a look. You've got all defense down with ignore immunity. You've got 100% penetration, which is pretty annoying. You've got iframe ignore, which is also very annoying. And then you have guard break immunity penetration, which is the classic Jean Grey 5th skill BS. So yeah, if Richard Rider gets a skill like this, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble, because this kind of skill is really a big game changer in PvP. You can lock people down, and as you can see, it's got a 6-second cooldown. So that means every 3 seconds you can spam this garbage attack. So yeah, it was super annoying. It was super unfun when Nova was good in PvP. It was super unfun. Now, Nova has some other things that make him very, very good. He's a very powerful, very premium character, but we'll have to see if they model Richard Rider after him. I don't expect Richard Rider to be a uniform for Nova, because they are different people, and there's some really good examples of different people but same sort of power set being divided into different characters. So of course you have like Ironheart, Iron Man, those kinds of characters, but even more obviously, or more simply, like Amadeus Cho, right? You wouldn't give, even though he's the Hulk, he becomes the Hulk and he has all the same powers as the Hulk, he's a different person. He's not Bruce Banner, he's Amadeus Cho. So I know in the past Marvel Future Fight has sort of made that mistake by making different versions of the same character into uniforms, a la the Secret Wars Captain America. This is not Steve Rogers, obviously, but I don't think they're going to make that mistake anymore. So I don't think we have to worry about that. I think it's fairly obvious that Richard Rider is not Sam Alexander, and that's why they put in brackets Sam Alexander. So I would bet like 10 to 1 that Richard Rider is going to be a brand new character. So we'll have to see how powerful he is, but don't rush to. My advice for you is don't rush to build up your Nova, your Sam Alexander Nova. It's very unlikely that he gets a uniform, and he's not going to have any association or connection to Richard Rider in a big way, in which you'd want to have both of them built up. So just kind of save your universal materials. And then in the case of Phyla-Vell, we don't have a Phyla-Vell on the roster. Now Phyla-Vell is, however, she's very similar to Quasar. This is Quasar in brackets Avril Kincaid. Again, we got the whole brackets thing going on. This sort of feels like a Ultimates Update Part 2, except they're ignoring Blue Marvel and Ant-Man. And basically, Phyla-Vell is basically like Quasar. Super speed, like flight, super durability, super strength, energy manipulation, energy absorption, that kind of thing. Now, what she has around her wrists is the quantum bands, and that's actually what gives her the powers of Quasar. Now, plenty of characters have used the quantum bands. This is not a unique thing for Avril. One of the characters that have used the quantum bands is Phyla-Vell. Yeah, Phyla-Vell has also been Quasar. Phyla-Vell has also been Captain Marvel, I believe, at one point. So she's been around. She knows a thing or two. She's got a really cool weapon called the Quantum Sword that's taken on two or three different looks, and it seems that they're trying to do some version of the Quantum Sword in the sneak peek. I would love it if she had her Quantum Sword. Like the original version looks super cool. You should look it up. It looks like a star twinkle, but as a blade. And then she had another version that was sort of like death and like skull themed. That one looks really cool too. Anyways, yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, basically Phyla-Vell is like Quasar. Now the thing is, Quasar's supposed to be way stronger than she is in this game. She came out with the ultimates, but she was just a joke. She's just not strong at all. Just like really weak character, considering the amount of power she has access to, quantum energy and all this stuff. Like she's not strong enough. So hopefully they get it right this time with Phyla-Vell. All of these characters should be way stronger. So like Phyla-Vell should be on Antimad's level or like Blue Marvel's level, like in terms of Marvel Future Fight. I'm not saying in terms of the comics. Well, Phyla-Vell should be on these characters' levels when they came out, not on their level now. All I'm trying to say is if they just base these characters off where they are now, 3 years later or 2.5 years later, it's not going to be pretty. So we'll have to see, but it's just interesting that we're getting so many sort of duplicate characters. Like Cosmic Ghost Rider, we have 2 Ghost Riders, but again, that also strengthens the idea that it's not going to be a uniform for Sam Alexander or Avril Kincaid, because these are different people, right? That's not the same person, so that's why we have 2 different versions of Ghost Rider and why it's not a uniform for the original Ghost Rider. Same sort of thing for Richard Rider Nova. And then Phyla-Vell. Phyla-Vell is different because Phyla-Vell like doesn't have any genetic relationship to Quasar or any of the other, or Avril Kincaid or any of the Quasars. I don't even think Phyla-Vell's a real person. I think she's a clone or a duplicate or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of messy, but it's interesting. It's really interesting. This update is a bit puzzling because besides Star-Lord, all of these characters that we've seen could just be brand new characters. So we could be possibly looking at 6 new characters and then 1 uniform, which is very unusual for Marvel Future Fight. I have to say, if we go based on the history of Marvel Future Fight, history of updates, we've only gotten 3 characters. So that means that Darkhawk would have to be a character 100%. That means Gladiator would have to be a character 100%, and then Phyla-Vell would have to be a character 100%. If that's the case, then if we're taking that model, that Marvel Future Fight model, then Richard Rider would be a uniform. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider would be a uniform, but then what happens to Beta Ray Bill, right? So at the minimum, at the very minimum, we're getting 4 new characters. There's no way that Phyla-Vell is a uniform for Avril Kincaid Quasar, and Phyla-Vell can't be a uniform for anyone else here. So it seems like it's going to be a huge update. Because it seems like it's going to be a huge update, at minimum 4 characters, and that would mean that they're making a mistake with Richard Rider, so at minimum 5 characters, then you start to get into Epic Quest territory. And a lot of people have been hoping for a new Epic Quest. Personally, I don't think that this has the makings of an Epic Quest, because an Epic Quest usually revolves around 1 character, and then the other characters around them are very like closely knit. It's like a family, right? Like if you look at the existing Epic Quests, this one just doesn't fit. Can you stop, please? This one just doesn't fit as an Epic Quest, right? You have Deadpool and his like closest allies and stuff. Deadpool's probably the one that's closely aligned with this update. But some of these characters have never interacted with each other before. Like Cosmic Ghost Rider has 0 relationship to any of these characters in this update. So for him to be a part of an Epic Quest is just strange. Whereas you have like Doctor Strange and his greatest friends and his greatest enemies and his mentor, right? You have Wolverine and the X-Men. They're like a family. You have literally a family, right? So it doesn't really scream out to me as being an Epic Quest. I also don't particularly like Epic Quests in Marvel Future Fight anymore, because I feel like they are just way too easy for veterans to breeze through. Even if you don't spend money, it takes you like less than a week to complete them. It's really fun for free-to-play players and for newer players, but come on. Veterans need something in Marvel Future Fight. So if we had like a month-long Epic Quest or something like that, it would be more interesting. But I'm really curious and really, really hyped to see what this update is going to be about. So let me know what you guys think of Richard Rider, Nova, and Phyla-Vell. I know a lot of you guys are insanely happy to finally see Richard come to the game, but there's still so many secrets to uncover, and I can't wait to see what they are. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.